Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Racha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Chakama Amath, which is true wisdom. Chakama Amath, true wisdom. This is something I was either meditating on last night or today, dealing with wisdom in itself. And when we look at wisdom, true wisdom is faithful. You know, it's beautiful, it's faithful, and it's very rewarding. Of course, it's a gift. As you see there, wisdom is a gift, the gift of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And it's very rewarding. You know, never lets you down. Always there. Consoles you. It's not, it's not predicated on, what's the word I'm looking for? It's unconditional. Unconditional love. It'll never leave you as long as you're faithful to wisdom. And it got me to thinking how, as beautiful as this wisdom is, in this world, or to this world, the true wisdom of the scriptures of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is somewhat like an ordinary woman to the world. Like she might be a really good woman. She might be faithful, but she wouldn't be somebody's first choice because, they're looking at the quote unquote baddies, all dressed up, smelling good, flamboyant, and very up to date on their attire, the way they dress, the way they smell, the different fashions that they wear. And true wisdom is pretty much plain. So she, to the world, wouldn't be the first choice of the world, and that's because the world as we know it is predicated upon gimmicks, it's predicated upon different BS, and it's not really predicated upon truth. Truth takes a back seat in this world because truth is not appealing to everyone, because everyone is not willing to submit themselves to the discipline of truth, and overall you have to be inspired by the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in order to receive it. But the most beautifulest thing out there is true wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is why in St. John 14:15 it says, "If you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever," which is this book. And it's the spirit, the true understanding of the book, and the spirit that comes with it. It's a wonderful, amazing thing. But to the world, it's like a plain woman. Okay, it says, "Even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive." Why can't they receive the spirit of truth? Because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. Because they don't have the clairvoyance or the ability to see in the future how this true wisdom will be something that will protect them and keep them from the harm that is to come, upon the world. Like it states in Isaiah 33:6, where it says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." And the reason why is because it's not given to them, because like it says, even the spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. And there is a discipline that comes along with it that the world is not taught. The world is taught to do what you want. You're young, live your life, do what you got to do, make the best, out of everything, that YOLO spirit. And most people will not be willing to live that quote unquote austere life that it takes to attain wisdom. Now, here in St. John 3 and 18, I'll start, I'll start at 18. He that believeth on him, meaning on Yahushua, is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already. All right? Because he had not believed in the name, of the only begotten Son of the Most High, Yahweh, which his name is Yahushua. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. And this is why the world can't receive the true wisdom, because it's plain, and it's so plain, and it's so, radiant, so to speak, that if you have, hang-ups or whatever the case may be, or you're not given the gift of subjecting yourself to discipline, it's going to get very uncomfortable. You're not going to like it, And that's pretty much why wisdom is rejected in this world, because their deeds would be reproved. It says, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Because one thing about true wisdom is that it exposes everything, and it's pretty much just left out in the open. Now, it's up to the individual to make a decision to move and do what they got to do to either get themselves together so that they could be in unity with wisdom, the wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or hit the high road, and live their life however they want to live their life. And for most people, that's what their mindset is, to live their life the way they want to live their life. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, right? It says that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. Yeah, because this man is being molded to the image of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and it's a path, it's a journey. It's not something that happens overnight, All right, so let's go back. Let's read this again. St. John 14 and 17, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But you know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. Right, and this is why it will keep us. I believe it's in the book of Proverbs. It says that she will guide him, when he's sleeping, when he wakes, pretty much guiding him, to protect him and keep his mind sane, so to speak, and sound. All right. Now, when we move into Proverbs 7, this is dealing with actual false philosophies, which is more alluring to the individual. It's more alluring to those that don't have the discipline or the gift of wisdom given by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So let's read some of this. It says, my son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Why? Because this is the true wisdom that will guide the Israelite man and woman in the faith. Okay. It says, keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Right. And this is what we read in St. John 15. If you love me, keep my commandments, and I will come, and give him the comforter, so on and so forth. It says, bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Right. So it's a constant meditation. Whether you're watching something and reflecting back on the scriptures, whether a title comes to mind or a topic comes to mind, or whether a lesson. You get an inspiration for a lesson. It says, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. It says, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. So the false wisdom of this world is like a woman out there that's a harlot that is very skillful. She knows how to maneuver. She knows what moves men. She knows the right things to say. She knows how to, get on their good side. She knows how to behave, in order to lure them in to that trap. She's very, spunky, spontaneous. She's aggressive to a certain degree. She's seductive. She knows how to throw her hair back. She knows how to, put on the right amount of perfume and the right clothing, to attract men. She knows how, what type of fashion and things that men like. So she's well trained because she has that experience, because she's dealt with many men and she's spoken to many men and she has entered into the mind and got feedback from them. So she knows her way around, and that's how this false wisdom is. So it's very alluring, very attractive, but the end of it is destruction. It says, for at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and behold, among the simple ones, and this is the key, the simple ones, the ones that are ignorant, don't know what's going on, and this is why you either get the wisdom of the world, which most people do, or you get the wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to guide and protect from the wiles of wicked wisdom. It says, I discern among the youths a young man void of understanding. That's why the very first chapter speaks about, give subtlety to the simple, open up, give them knowledge and wisdom, equity, so on and so forth. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. Right. In other words, she lured him in with her sweet words, and he was mesmerized and he was in a trance. And that's how these religions are. Christianity, which they're losing their lackluster, but it still has some type of force because it is part of those false philosophies. Roman Catholicism, Islam, and many other, the black conscious community, and whether your philosophy is money, whatever it may be, there's always something there to allure you. That's why Yahweh Shai said, where a man's heart is, where a man's treasure is, that's where his heart shall be. All right. It says, in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. Right. Because this is a representation of being in darkness. Being in the congregation of the dead, because you don't have the true light to shine upon you, to make you walk in that path, so that you can avoid the pitfalls. You can avoid the different philosophies that are grabbing men's souls, women also. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtile of heart. Right, the attire of an harlot, because they have an alluring way about them. It's comparable to a harlot that's dressed up. She's looking good, and all that. She speaks sweet to you and all of that. But the whole time she's looking to ensnare you, And that's why wisdom is compared to a woman, but also wicked wisdom is compared to a woman. That's why you have something called feminine wiles. It says she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. She's just like these daughters of Belial that are in the clubs every week, got the latest fashion because they got some sucker on the hook, got money from them, so they buying the latest fashion. They got the latest cars. They live in the plush places, She's loud and stubborn, and then, that's the way of the Western world today, where Jake, likes those women that like to go out, they like to party, So that's how this wisdom is on the left-hand side. You know? It says, now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner, right? Because these philosophies are everywhere. It says, so she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee diligently to seek thy face. I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with the fine linen of Egypt, that Egyptian cotton, inside joke. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. So this is being set up as a form of a harlot propositioning a John and getting him to spend his money on her so that she can give him her services. And he's like a puppy, or like a puppet on a string. All right. Just bear with me 1 second. What is that? Revelation 2 brought this to mind. Just bear with me till hopefully I can find it. All right. Revelation 2:19, I know thy works in charity and service and faith and thy patience and thy works, and the last to be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, that's dealing with these false philosophies, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication, meaning there's a certain ritual about these different religions that you have to follow that will upset the Most High, because it's a worship of them. It says, and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. See? They continue on. Behold, I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into great tribulation. And this is why it says that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Because when the tribulation comes, you lived it up. You were doing good. But when tribulation comes, you're not going to know how to handle it. And you're not going to have anything there mentally to hold your hand spiritually in the times that are coming. It says, except they repent of their deeds, and I will kill her children with death, because all that come to her and these different philosophies are her children, just like we're the children of the Most High. Remember, Yahweh Shai said, and wisdom shall be, I forget the word of her children. I can't think of the other word, but something along the words magnified of her children or something like that. Or the same thing with the false philosophies. The false philosophies have their children, which are their followers. It says, and all the churches shall know that I am he which searcheth the reins and hearts, and I will give unto every one of you according to your works. That's right. The water, brother. The brother Mashah put it up. Luke 7:35, but wisdom is justified of all her children. Beautiful. So just like Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has children, and they're fed and nourished and born of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, so do these false philosophies also. All right, so going back to Proverbs 7:18, come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. And that's dealing with what? With keeping the commandments of these different philosophies. Like Yahweh said, if you love me, keep my commandments. But if you're caught up into those religions, you're going to do the commandments of those religions. All right. It says, for the good man is not at home. He is gone on a long journey, right? Because she's playing it like you're committing adultery, which you are. You're committing adultery against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai when you do these things. It says, he hath taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at the day appointed with her much fair speech. See, that's why I said the time will come where they will not endure sound doctrine, but will, pretty much be seduced by these different philosophies. She caused him to yield, right? Because it's a constant thing, like when a woman kind of keeps at you and keeps nagging you and keeps doing certain things, and eventually you just give in. Well, that's how these philosophies are. They're very persistent. It says, with the flattering of her lips, she forced him. See, she got him out of his character and made him to do what she wanted. She made him walk her walk. He goeth after her straightway as an ox goeth to the slaughter, because at the end, that's going to lead to what? Destruction. It says, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. And why is that? Because it's very alluring. And America is a personification of that whole harlot philosophy, left-hand energy wisdom. As it says here in Revelation 17:6. And it says, and I saw the woman, which is America, drunken with the blood of the saints, the Israelites, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua, which are the men of the Lord. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, right? Because she was something to be wondered at. She wasn't a plain woman like true wisdom. Because true wisdom, she's not appealing to those that are looking for that, those gimmicks, so to speak. So she's very plain. So someone will look past her, not knowing that that's the best woman for you. Because they're looking for that loud, stubborn, flashy, when she walks in the room, everybody stops and turns their attention to her, So going back to Proverbs, it says, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. Because eventually, those that get caught up in there, they're going to be destroyed. It says, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life, right? Because eventually there's consequences. Inside joke. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, right? Because declining means to fall back, to give in. Go not astray in her paths, for she hath cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. And this is why when we go to the book of Revelation, chapter 14, you just go straight to the point. And 4, these are they, meaning 144,000, which were not defiled with women, meaning with these philosophies, the false ways. For they are virgins, because they are untouched, unspotted from those philosophies. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits, or the head of all Israel, unto the Most High and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile. Because this flesh is corrupt, but mouth-wise, meaning what they speak and what they teach, there's no guile. 100% truth. For they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. So it says back in Proverbs 7:27, her house is the way to hell, meaning to death, to destruction, going down to the chambers of death, right, to the grave, because that's where it's going to lead to. All right. And pretty much I'll leave it there, because that's the main point, I mean, there's a couple more precepts, but I think the point is made, So, Chakama, amath, true wisdom. Chakama is the way you say wisdom, because wisdom is a feminine spirit, and amath is truth, because it's in English is true wisdom, but in Hebrew is Chakama amath, or wisdom true. Okay, because in English language is really backwards. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. To the next time I say shalom.